子供たちよ、こっちに行きなさい。ちょうど探してたところじゃ。
どうしたんだピンマーや。何かオイラたちに手伝ってほしいことでもあるのか？
いや、子供たちはリユエコのために十分手助けをしてくれた。これ以上面倒はかけられんよ。今回はバーヤの仲間たちと一緒に子供たちに贈り物を用意したんじゃ。
贈り
子供たちよ、まだリユエに来て間もないというのに、もう世渡りが上手になったみたいじゃのう。じゃがこの贈り物は何が何でも受け取っておくれ。以前先人の鈴を探すために壺に入ってもらった時、おちびちゃんからいつも野宿をしていると聞いてのう。まだまだ旅は長いんじゃ。このままじゃいかん。幸いバーヤは年こそ取ったものの、まだわずかながらに外形の力を使える。おや、まだ言っておらんかったか？バーヤたちは昔帝君から恩恵を受けたことで三眼五見の力を身に宿しておるんじゃ。いろいろと能力はあるが、その中でも外形の力は小さな世界を想像することができる。前に子供たちが入った壺もその力で簡単に作ったものなんじゃ。
あんなすごい壺なのに簡単に。
あの世界をなすためには浮世を離れる必要がある。そんな大層なものじゃないよ。帝君はその昔山を動かし海を埋めたんじゃ。それこそ神業と言えるものじゃろう。まあ昔の話はこの辺にして、その贈り物じゃが、まだ最後の材料が足りておらんのじゃ。
そうだぞ、オイラたち探し物は得意だからな。材料探しなら任せろ。
まあまあ、二人ともそうせかすでない。もうすでに足の速いものに任せてある。必要な材料は特別なんじゃ。子供たちでは探すのがちと難しい。それ例えば摘果州の河原下にある借金の泥とかじゃな。以前この泥を取るときは瑠璃百合がたくさん咲いている場所を探さないといけなかった。そして瑠璃百合の根をたどって掘っていき、運が良ければ借金の泥が一つかみだけ見つかる。じゃが摘果州があんなことになってからは、もう誰もこの方法を使うことができなくなった。さらにそれより困難なのが、双眼鏡園から採掘できる水角石じゃ。国眼上があそこで採掘を始めてからは、それもほとんど見当たらなくなった。水角石は貴重な泉物で、常人では千人の木に耐えられない。長く触れれば体に害をなすじゃろう。ああの子がそれを見つけられるといいんじゃが。
ピンバーヤは仙人だし、その子も仙人なのか？
まあ彼女も仙人と言えなくもない。
なくもないって、なんでリーユエコーにはこんなにたくさん仙人がいるんだ？どこに行っても仙人に会えそうだし、もしかしたらオイラたちが食事してる時も横に仙人が座ってるなんて可能性もあるよな。
ありえるかもしれんの。バーヤの仲間たちには属性が好きなものが何人もおるしな。
バーヤ、ただいま。おや、この二人は？
紹介しよう。この子は縁妃。さっき言ってた子じゃよ。縁妃、こちらは旅人と彼女の仲間じゃ。知っておるな？
ああ、もちろん知ってる。洗顔軍の記録に詳しく載っていたから。以前ゲーセン儀式の騒動で洗顔軍に不審者として指名手配され、絶運の間で洗顔軍を撃退し、ファデュイとも関わり、最後はバーヤと共に魔人を撃退。七星のおかげで容疑が晴れたと。実に惜しい。そう、私に会えなかったことが。もっと早くに会えていたらその場で容疑を晴らすとまではいかなくても、少なくともひどい目に遭わずに済んでただろうな。改めて自己紹介しよう。私は縁妃、法律家だ。法律に関する困りごとがあれば私を訪ねるといい。ああ、そうだ、私の名刺を。連絡方法と職場の住所が載ってる。急用ならその住所に手紙を。ああ、それと初めてのお客さんには割引があって。
縁妃、そろそろ本題に入ろう。今の二人には法律の助けなんていらないじゃろう。子供たちや、そう驚かないでおくれ。この子はいつもこうなんじゃ。自分のことを話し出すと止まらない。
オイラたちがこれまで会ってきた仙人とはなんか全然違うような。
仙人？まあそうとも言える。お父様は自分のことを仙人だと言っていた。かつて元王帝君と共に戦場に立っていたらしい。戦いが終わった後、帰郷してお母様と結婚したそうだ。それから私が生まれた。私が大きくなった後、お父様はお母様と一緒に外の世界を漫遊している。だから私は今バーヤと一緒にここで暮らしているんだ。
なんか勝手だな。仙人たちってリーユエコーを守るため契約に従ってるんじゃないのか？なんで急にそれを放り出して結婚したんだ？
お父様から聞いた話によると、帝君とはそのことについて話し合いをしたらしい。それで同意を得た上で故郷に帰ったそうだ。結婚をした時、帝君からのお祝いも受けたという。まあそのことについては一旦置いておいて、バーヤ、頼まれてたものはほぼ揃ったぞ。けど水角石だけはどうしても探す手立てがない。今双眼鏡園は完全に封鎖されていて入れそうにない。申請をしようにもそれも通らないだろう。どうやら総務省はあそこを徹底的に封鎖することにしたようだ。
そうじゃったか。しかし水角石がないとなると面倒じゃな。縁妃、何か案はあるかのう。リーユエコーを助けてくれた者たちにどうしても礼をしたくてな。
分かってる。バーヤから何回も言われてたし。双眼鏡園から水角石を取れなくとも別の方法があるかもしれない。ちょっと待ってて、調べてみる。
うわ、すっごく分厚い本だな。何が載ってるんだ？
商業競技、鉱石、スネーシナヤ。見つけた。このクロッサルというスネーシナヤの商人から希少な鉱石の法律に関して依頼されたことがある。彼は水角石を仕入れてかんざしを作ろうとしていた。そこに法的な問題が潜んでいないか聞かれたんだ。スネージナヤに持ち帰って売るらしい。よし、彼を探してくる。もしかしたら水角石、もしくはその手がかりを見つけられるかもしれない。お前も一緒に来るのか？ダメとは言わないが、横で見ているだけにしてくれ。安易に首を突っ込んで法に抵触しないようにな。
法律を理由に警告してくるなんて。そんな仙人初めて会ったぞ。彼女と行動するときはオイラたちもいろいろ注意しよう。
Hello, Mr. Crossell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi Qiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi Qiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi Qiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Xiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Join the adventurers.
Bang! And with that, the fate of the Bourgeois Brotherhood was sealed. These are class acts that wow!
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juqiao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the Jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the Jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please. Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch, finest quality jade. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail. Geo-energy around Mr. Crossell, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? Ha! I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Adventurer, think you can last a round against me?
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named Crossell, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
What What should I try this time?
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental side a shot. So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Miss Yanfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei, but might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it! Singsi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
You memorized them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Sing Si.